Hello slimy fertlers, and here we are once again with another car that I'm going to do stuff with. This time round what we have here is a 1989 Pontiac Banshee concept car. It was basically a kind of, average sort of, kind of late 80s futuristic shaped car. I mean, you've got this wedge shape and everything like that, the pointy front and everything. But the reason why I'm doing this one, which would otherwise be an unremarkable footnote in the history of concept cars, is that this particular model of car was used as the Knight Industries 4000 in the 1991 TV movie, which was called Knight Rider 2000. Came before the 2008 kind of reboot, sort of continuation series, and it also came before Team Knight Rider, which the less said about the better. But yeah, Knight Rider is one of my most favourite things ever. I absolutely loved the TV show when I was a kid. I had loads of Knight Rider related stuff when I was a kid. I had the kit dashboard, I had different Knight Rider kit toys and everything like that. I had one of those kind of pull back and go sort of toys. I had little I think it were Ertl kits at the time, but I just like the look. I mean, for example, I have here a Hot Wheels Mustang GT500 KR, which you probably can't see very well here, but I'll put a better picture in after I've said this bit. But yeah, I've redone it so it looks like the Knight Industries 3000 from the 2008 series, which only got one series, which is a shame because I quite enjoyed it. And there were a lot of people that were the purists that said it was crap, but no, I quite liked it, so here we go. Yeah, I also have an actual Knight Industries 2000. That's up in one of my display cases up here, and I can't be bothered getting it out, to be fair. You all know what it looks like. But yeah, this was the one there that in the film the Knight Foundation had basically what they'd done is they'd took old kit apart and put him on the scrap heap, and then Michael Knight comes back because there's some stuff going on that shouldn't be going on, something to do with illegal firearms, whatever, a lot of weird sort of anti-gun message talking points. And the Knight Foundation makes a new version of kit, updated for the 21st century, and they put it in a body shell of the Pontiac Banshee, and call it the Knight Industries 4000, or KIFT. KIFT was voiced by Carmen Agranzio or something. Basically, I think it was the guy who played Samantha Carter's dad in Stargate SG-1. I think also, no, that's Mitch Pileggi that was no Carmen whatever was Samantha Carter's dad. I'm thinking of Mitch Pileggi, who was the Director Skinner in the X-Files, but no, it was voiced by Carmen, unpronounceable last name. But the problem with the Knight Industries 4000 was that unlike Kit, he wasn't particularly well programmed, and he didn't like like Kit was programmed to preserve Michael's life, and then respect all human life, and also respect all life. And this comes in a scene where they're Kift is driving them down a road, and a deer runs out in front of a deer runs out in front of him, and he's just going to run it over until ordered to stop. And when they ask Kift why he was going to run the deer over, he just answers, well, I could have hit it and it wouldn't have caused any damage to the vehicle, so why bother stopping. Eventually Kit ends up being put into this vehicle. The Kift memory core is ripped out and replaced by Kit, who actually knows what he's doing and who isn't a bit of a bastard. And there was supposed to be, I think it was supposed to be a backdoor pilot for a new series. Michael Knight wouldn't have been a big part of it. Kit basically got a new driver, a woman who had some sort of cybernetic brain augmentation or something, which meant that she could communicate with Kit a lot more effectively than what Michael ever could. Oh yeah, this was the vehicle used. I actually have two of these. The other one, this one's a Hot Wheels, but this one is a Zilmex. Well, it says it's a Zilmex Pontiac Banshee. It says so on the bottom. Unfortunately, when I got it, I was originally going to do this one as the Knight Industries 4000. When I got it, I noticed one glaring problem, and that is that the front of the car is supposed to be pointy like this, but for some reason Zilmex, when they were making their version of it, decided to give it this huge ass grille at the front. You know, a round, basically a blunt nose with a big grille at the front. All the other details they got pretty much right, apart from that, and you know, it was a bit disappointing, because I bought these two off eBay, and I don't know what I was thinking when I was looking at that. I think it took me that long to find a Banshee that when I saw this one pop up at a cheap price, I just got it without thinking. But yeah, so that will be going towards probably a Gaslands or something like that. So yeah, so just looking at this particular one, it's held in with one rivet and two tabs at the back, so that shouldn't be too hard. So I'll pop the rivet, get paint stripped off, and then we'll see where we go from there.
12 seconds later.
Right, so we're all stripped off, and ooh, kinky. We're all the paint stripped off rather, and you know, the body looks nice. There's not really much by way of casting lines, anything like that in it. So a little bit on the front here. I'll need to shave that down some, and yeah, it's fine as is. Might just need to tidy up the back a little bit here, but can just do that with a bit of sandpaper. The next thing I'm going to need to do in order to get this looking more like the Knight 4000 is, in the TV show, the you know, the red, you know, eye searchlight, well, searching sensor thingamabob that all the, you know, Knight Industries vehicles have. In the TV series, it's located under here. You know, basically under the you know, the sharp tip of the nose. Unfortunately, there's not enough material there for me to be able to cut one out. So what I'm going to have to do instead is I'm going to have to make a notch across here. You know, just across the front of the bonnet kind of thing. I shall do that with my knot Dremel and being very, very careful, because if I'm not careful, I can completely fucking up the you know, the nose of it, and I don't want to do that because this one was hard enough to find as it was, and I certainly don't want to have to use the other one, which won't look any good. But yeah, so that's that bit done. Just a little bit more info about the Knight 4000. The actual one used in the TV show wasn't a proper Pontiac Banshee. It was styled to look like one, but underneath the body shell it was actually a Mitsubishi GTO. Was it an FTO? I can't remember. It was one of those. It is basically a small kind of I don't know, sort of low-end sports car kind of thing. Then they put this body shell over the top of it, and, you know, shaped like the Banshee. I actually do have a picture of the original vehicle used as the Knight 4000 and how it looks like today, which I will drop here. And as you can see, it's seen better days. So yeah, hopefully I don't mess mine up to the point at which it looks like that. So yeah, I'm going to wait till we've got some daylight, and then I'm going to cut the notch in there. The paint job on it will be very simple because the Knight 4000 is just basically bright gloss red. The only bit of colour really I'm going to have to put on the body is I'm just going to have to put a bit of black into the notch I cut, to, you know, show it as like a recess kind of thing, and then very, very carefully put a red swoosher, Cylon eye, whatever you want to call it, in there. The only other thing is the rear, these two holes here, which are hinged onto the body, which basically that's what you use to hinge onto the body when you put the chassis back on, like that. They're the rear lights, and they're both red, but I'm going to, because the body is red and the lights are red, what I'm going to have to do is use a different colour red for them, but I'm also going to put some white and stuff like that in them, to, you know, so that you can actually see them against the body. and spruce up these wheels a little bit. I mean, they're okay, the chrome work on it is okay, but I might just spray over that and give it a good old going over with my chrome pen, just to make it look a little bit better, because this is all, they're okay, but there's the scratches and bits on there where basically somebody's, you know, some kids use this car and have, you know, rammed it into the side or something like that, you know. But yeah, so let's see how we get on, and when I come back, hopefully the notch will be cut and it'll be ready for priming and everything like that.
Approximately 10 hours later.
So here we are after the mod and the cleanup. Let's see, cut the notch in the front. We're probably going to have to use a little bit of filler because I think I've gone a little bit deep on that one, but it will suffice for the time being. The body, I went full out on the body, and I gave it a wire wheel and everything to clean off the crap, and I've sanded down the panel lines, casting lines on it. I've also done a bit of polishing on it as well. First time I've actually properly used polish on a car body, and it's come out alright. The problem is as I've polished away, I've noticed a hell of a lot of little pock marks in the metal all over. I mean, it doesn't look like I've polished it very well because I just used some liquid metal polish. I've not bought any kind of like speciality polish. I've not you know, like re-chromed it either, because I just don't do that. But yeah, you know, I haven't got the facilities available to you know, to like zinc plate or copper plate it or anything like that. Not that I would copper plate it, because that's daft. You weigh copper in and get money for it. But yeah, so I found all the little pock marks on there. That shouldn't be too much of a problem, because the primer and the red gloss paint should fill those gaps. Fingers crossed it does though. So yeah, we're on his way, and next time when we come back, hopefully it will be painted and put back together. Well, or painted and ready to put back together. Yay!
Many months later.
Righty then, so we've got all this stuff ready, and what we've got here, we've got the body, which I put a notch in and didn't do it very successfully, but it still works. It still works for what I want it to. The interior, I'm leaving just black because there's no point in putting the interior in anyway, and I can't simulate the kind of dark and glass effect that Kift has for his windscreen, which is also a virtual heads-up display. But I painted this bit which goes over the body in the same gloss red. Got the base here with the lights on it, and give them the windscreen a clean up. And I also decided to put some new wheels on because you know, because well, the wheels that were on it were a bit crap. Yes, I've just noticed I've got a pink thumb. That's from spraying this earlier on. I caught a bit of paint. I'm not thinking, look, up, clean, pink thumb, clean, pink thumb. Yeah, right, so let's put this bad boy back together, and I've got to try and remember how to do it, because it is quite fiddly. I mean, first off, you've got the windscreen here, which has a tab at the back but not at the front, and if I remember rightly, I have to put that on top of the interior first, and then, oh god, so I don't want to put that down on the table because I don't want any of the red gloss getting any dust bunnies or anything, so I'll just use this piece of tissue here, and hopefully there won't be any paint on there that hasn't dried and ends up staining the fucking thing. Oh god, it'd help a lot more if I had a plan for these things. Right, so that has to go in there and swing down. Nope. Let's try that again. Let's see if I can do it in just individual pieces. Right, the windscreen goes in there and there's a little shelf for it to sit on, so that's okay. Then I've got to maneuver the interior through and swing it down. Yep, that's fine. Next, the wheels. I've got the two wheels here. These are green light wheels. I think they're from the GM pack, which is handy because the Pontiac Banshee is a GM manufactured vehicle, although like I said, the one in the TV show was actually a Mitsubishi FTO, just mocked up to look like a Banshee, and they did a pretty good job of it too, to be fair. Get that in. Right, you've got to put the rear headlights, well, the rear lights through their little there we go, through the little retaining piece that they have there, and then the front wheel comes up. I haven't actually attached the wheels down onto the chassis because I didn't need to. I didn't need to because once I'd clipped off the grips for the old Hot Wheels wheels. Important safety tip: never pull the top off a super glue container with your teeth unless you're an expert like what I is. Now, trying not to get any super glue on my fingers, I'll just put a dab of super glue there into the hole. Like I say, it's single rivet. Give it a blow just to start the drying process off, because I've put the new wheels in, there is a little bit of tension there. And there we have it, the Knight Industries 4000. His wheels do roll a bit. Not on this surface, I think it's a bit too smooth, but the wheels do roll. They're very, the back ones are very tight. I don't care. Yeah, so there we go. That is the 1988 Pontiac Banshee, rejiggered to look like the Knight Industries 4000 in Knight Rider 2000. God, there's a lot of fucking numbers to remember there. I don't like remembering numbers. The main thing why I did the wheels was because the original Hot Wheels wheels were pokey outy, as I call it, pokey outy wheels, and I don't like that. So looking at the pictures of the Knight 4000 in the TV show, the wheels were actually flush with the body and slightly under as well. So I got because the Greenlight wheels, you can sort of snip little bits off the hubs and shorten the axle pins. I did that and made them so they're nice and flush with the body. There's a little bit extra room. For some reason, there's a little bit extra room in the in the wheel wells. Even though these wheels are actually the same diameter as the Hot Wheels ones that I took off. Can't understand why, because it didn't look like that before. But it's not a bad thing, because that actually does make it look a lot more like the one in the TV show. So yeah, this vehicle was basically custom built out of an FTO for the TV series, and in that series the Knight Industries 4000 has the ability to drive in water, and it has all the usual stuff that Knight Rider, associated with Knight Rider. It had updated technology such as, like I said, the virtual reality windscreen and the KIFT system itself, which could auto drive. It had turbo boost. It also had a microwave stun gun for taking out bad guys, and all that good stuff. I can't remember whether KIFT actually turbo boosted, because that's one of the things that you remember about Knight Rider is turbo boost. Yeah, but yeah, God, I love Knight Rider. Yeah, but that's this one done. I'm going to leave it off somewhere to dry nicely. And yeah, another addition to my Knight Rider collection, which is going quite well so far. It's like I say, I've got a Knight 2000, I made a Knight 3000, I've now got the Knight 4000. I also made a get it down without knocking things off. I also made a Knight Foundation truck, the Rook as it's called, or as the fan name for it is. A bit dusty, I need to clean it off. But yeah, as usual, I will put better pictures of KIFT at the end there, and I might even knock a few in of it with all the other Knight Industries vehicles that I've got all made, which isn't much. The only other one that I'm really bothered about making one of is Crow from the TV series Team Knight Rider, which is a terrible series, but Crow is pretty badass. Crow is Knight reformulation, but if I do a video about that, I'll get into that later. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, share the video about if you want, if you think it's good enough, and if you're feeling generous, you can pop me a couple of quid via the PayPal link. Keep me going during these troublesome times where nobody's got any money because everything seems to be costing a lot more while we're all in epic lockdown. And also go over to my Facebook page, which is linked below, and give that a like, and you can see some of the stuff that I do that I don't video myself doing. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.